right, David. I think we've seen how a runaway could happen, and again, that's a bit scary. But we need to look at, it is a possibility. We just said there, runaway is a possibility. So it leads us on to the point of, the degree of risk and the degree of uncertainty here, and how people react to that. So let's take it from there.
I think they're separate issues, risk and uncertainty.
Okay.
Uncertainty has to do with, if you like, our subjective, our perception of the solidity, the groundedness of the scientific analysis. And that depends on what we want to believe, what we can afford to believe. It involves resistance to change in our understanding and so on. Let's take the idea of risk to start with, then I'll go on to the uncertainty bit. There are clear and present dangers or risks in adding to our atmosphere substances that change our climate in this particular way. We have put ourselves and every other species on the planet at risk to some extent by what we have already done. The level or intensity of that risk is only now becoming clear. Most of our political negotiations are based on an understanding of risk that's about 30 years out of date, which is one of the problems we're struggling with. So, for instance, in the 1990s, a 2 degrees heating of the planet was seen as, it'll be safe enough at that level. There's a special edition of a journal from the Royal Society this last January, where they were saying, 2 degrees is not the threshold of dangerous climate change, it's the boundary between dangerous and very dangerous climate change. And so the understanding of risk is improving and sharpening the whole time. Now, if you face a risk, you may take out insurance and then go on and ignore it. There's no insurance for this game. We are at risk. If you estimate a risk, say, is it worth intervening to avoid the risk? In this case, we don't have a choice. Because if climate change is of this ilk, of this intensity, of this importance, and of this nature, there is no insurance that can compensate us for setting off such a change. It is a risk that may not be taken, and to which we are already committed by what's in the pipeline, unless we move to not just stopping putting out carbon dioxide and other related changes in the energy balance, but to drawing down carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases that are already in the atmosphere. We move to a drawdown economy, not just a zero carbon or a low carbon economy. A drawdown economy globally is an imperative solution to avoid the risk that we dare not take.
I think you used the term once, a detox approach, alongside the substance abuse and the way we've used energy.
If the planet is a body, then we stop the addiction and we detox the planet. Absolutely.
So you've got the drawdown or the detox, whichever you prefer. The detox is a useful metaphor because it brings in the psychology of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of uncertainty, yes, there are uncertainties in the science. They're particularly acute in areas of computer modelling where the models are incomplete or cannot possibly give a complete picture of a system's performance. What I've attempted to do in the last 6 years' work is to reduce the level of uncertainty around climate sensitivity, and I think I've succeeded in doing that quite significantly. The test will be in how we validate or falsify or challenge that analysis over the next few months.
Because, to begin to get to the same consensus on that as there has been over other aspects of where we're at with global heating and its effects on climate and humanity and life, to get to the same degree of consensus, you'll probably have to go through various stages again and find opposition, and people will actually agree with you but not want to publish it because it's too scary.
That's more to the point, yes.
They agree with you but say, look, I can't really do research, or I can't get funding for this, or I can't publish it.
That's been happening. and even the peer review system has limited what can be published in the journals to that which is, if you like, politically appropriate.
Yeah.
Many of the advisors to political systems have said, we dare not bring to the political decision-making bodies the real information from climate science, because they just won't act on it, won't listen to it.
So it'll be very interesting to look at how your first publication of this will be responded to.
Well, if it's anything to go by in terms of the first one,
Yeah.
I gave a seminar in Westminster on this stuff, 2 or 3 years ago now, I suppose. It was written up and beautifully summarised on a website.
Yeah.
And the first blog came in saying I was the most dangerous person in the UK. I should seek euthanasia at the earliest possible opportunity, and my children should be neutered before they were able to breed.
Good God.
So, and many of my colleagues have had death threats, rewriting of briefs, withdrawal of project funding. There's been a huge attempt to silence
Yes.
any serious research into areas which are seen as too risky to engage.
Yes, because you're actually positing a risk of global heating going to an increase of temperatures to 7 degrees or more from the pre-industrial phase. That's what you're actually implications of this.
Okay. And in fact, the set of promises that were made in the Copenhagen Accord, which was reinforced in the Cancun Agreement, these great conferences we've been having, if you put that into a model and smoke it, what comes out with the conservative estimates is an increase of about 4 degrees by the end of the century. Looking at the world's sensitivity, the Earth's system sensitivity, is looking more like 8 to 10 degrees.
Gosh. Yeah.
And that's the promises to solve the problem, so-called, that we have on our hands at the moment.
Yes, so
The international community is nowhere near solving this problem.
yes.
And it's time to put this agenda right back
Right.
at the top of the political problem solving and the political agenda as of now.
So we need a little bit of an alarm to do that, but even to get the alarm out and publish is going to be difficult.
Yeah, and there are reasons for that I haven't touched on yet,
And-
and I'd like to, if I may.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I interrupting you?
No.
That's okay then. We often talk about business systems being able to lead the charge in terms of change here. Business systems aren't just a lump like that. There are very large and highly wealth-producing areas of our business systems concerned in the energy field, coal, oil, gas, and on the economic systems that are dependent on those as the profit-making, which have huge vested interests in maintaining our use of fossil energy. And they have pumped enormous resources into ridiculing science, into causing doubt in the public domain, and blocking the capacity for action.